She said the same
What'd you say, Christiana?
She got to work in the morning.
You said through the wire. Alright, he's gonna do this like this.
Is the mics working?
2 of them are.
Which one's not?
Hello. Mine. Yes.
I don't know which one it is right now, but they can still hear y'all off like. We're all loud enough to where this picks up.
Okay, cool.
So where even if I.
Word started.
Yeah, okay.
Where the topic list at?
There is no topic list. That was the reason for this week, actually.
What we doing then?
I'll show you.
What is the game plan?
It's a whole lot of money in this one.
Somebody play a different song.
Right, that's the only song that's stuck in my head.
Okay. Live. Niggas is live. Alright. So, Freak Show number 28. John, you keeping up with it?
I think it's 27.
No, we did 27 last week. So 28. Here's the thing. I suck when it comes to uploading. Do apologize. I promise you, come episode 30, I'll have my shit together. It's a lot of shit going on right now. Big Reek. I'm serious. Taking some transitions in my, jobs and, some weeks I got money, some weeks I don't. I can't tell you. I hit this nigga John up last week, right, for $10.
I was asleep. So I got what did you call? What did you text?
I text you.
And then, I was asleep, and then I woke up. It was junk, and then I woke up to another message, and it was like, never mind.
Yeah, well, okay, I had told him never mind, but like the whole time while I was just like in need of the $10, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't responding.
Right.
And then he didn't respond back to that message, but I seen him active on social media later on, so I was just like, oh, this nigga.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
No, I was asleep.
I said later on. Because you didn't he didn't respond. I said, yo. He said, yo. I said, bro, you think you can spot me $10 right quick?
Bro, I swear I ain't see that.
Look in the text.
I got you.
Why'd you still be in there?
I got Doug's don't delete nothing.
Okay, ass, sorry ass nigga. Shit. Go ahead, look, nigga. It's in there. Trust me, I sent it. I can show you on my phone.
Nah, you right.
Yeah, I know. This nigga John the type to try to get out of some relationship bullshit.
Yeah.
Bro, I
swear I didn't see the message. You read it.
Right.
This nigga got his read receipt.
Right.
This nigga, I seen you read it.
I promise you, I didn't read it.
Bro, but that's the thing. That's the exact reason why I said go back and look at it. I've seen you read the message, nigga.
And this is what, remember we were arguing, I was like, he ain't text me back. I didn't see it. I didn't even get it.
Hey, bro, what the fuck type of time you on, John?
Bro, I told you I went to sleep.
This nigga act like phones don't give all the damn messages that you need. You know what I'm saying, nigga? You ain't gotta text me back. I get the message.
You gonna do that like I looked out for you?
I read 10 minutes ago, nigga need $10.
You gonna do that like I looked out for you before?
You have?
And you gonna sit here and act like I would've tripped over some $10?
You wouldn't have. But that was the reason why. You remember that time I gave you $200 to take me like 15 minutes down the road?
Yeah.
The party? That's the reason why I did that. I've never done that to any of my other boys. Well, I mean, I've never had to ask any of my other boys.
Exactly.
You know, this nigga John, I know you got a good job. I know you ain't hurting for $10. That's how you gotta gauge that shit.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
I can't remember that nigga's name, but we went to that party on New Year's. That nigga never paid for my gas money.
He didn't. And I probably could have, but I was so fucking gone.
Nah, it was cool. Cause I still ain't fuck with him cause how he was acting in that ride.
He was tripping.
Like hard.
That was bitch shit though. Like, here's my thing. It's like, if we're leaving a party, okay, if somebody has to stop and throw up.
Did we ever tell you this story?
No.
Probably not. So, okay.
I don't know. I'll be like,
hey.
pop, pop, pop,
Let me run through.
Jordan gonna be the first one. Oh, they shooting.
Yeah, what you did.
Let me run through this real quick. So it was 5 of us in my little red car.
Old red car too.
Tyreek said, yo, can you DD? Me and Tyreek, the only 2 niggas with a car and a license. I said, sure, I got you.
Out of including us, the 5 niggas who went.
The only 2 niggas with a car and a license.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 5 people.
We all adults.
So that's 3 other people who.
Do I know these people?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Know them very well, actually.
Yeah, I figured I did.
Well, one of them I know she know very well. The other 2?
Oh wait, no, it was actually just 4 of us this one night. It was 5 people in the car, 4 that was actual niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fifth one was
so we about
the
to get there. We about to get there. So we go to this party, and Tyreek smashed, but that's not the point. We get to the party.
I didn't smash any girl. I
No.
was like hammered. Smash.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Okay.
I was following you. I'm following the story.
Anyway, so it's 4 black dudes, and one of the black dudes got a white girlfriend, and she over in the corner fainting like Betty Boop or some bullshit.
Facts.
She fainting. Everybody looking around like, yo,
Like
she
going-
good.
Bro, we're in the middle of this whole ass like hood nigga party, and this white girl that just so happens to be with us with the very nigga who is a liability more than the other nigga who's a liability. The girl that's with him passes out, or not passes out, but she just like, you know, falls back on this like dusty ass couch. Okay, so other women that was there, who you would definitely know,
Yeah.
was just like, oh, y'all need to check on her, yada yada, all this other shit. Here's my thing. If somebody fall out in the party and they not with me, unless somebody else did, that's on you. Cause you got yourself to that point. You know what I'm saying? You knew that you didn't have to get there. Christiana, please. But like, you know you didn't have to get to that point. You feel me? So it's just like, okay.
She been quiet the whole time.
She can talk, I don't care. Trust me, we overpower her on this microphone, or on the camera microphone. But yeah, okay, so she just like passes out. I turn around, turn around like it ain't shit. This nigga flies past us, the nigga who's actually there with the female, with like 2 bottles of water. It's some shit like that.
Yeah.
This nigga trying to bring her back to life and shit.
So then we all open this junk. He's like, yo, can I take her to the car? Yeah, take the keys, get out, go.
Yo.
Go. We let him go. We in the party, we coolin'. It's like, all right, it's time to go. We weren't even there for that long, for real.
We really won't.
We was like New Year's party. We heard the countdown drop. We left.
Cause they weren't even all the way at the car on thing.
Right. So then when we get out there, he done. He smashed.
I was fucked up.
I'm driving. He said, yo, can you pull up? I gotta throw up. This dude, the dude didn't pay my gas money, but this was what really got me.
Because he was the only one that had the problem with it.
I pulled over. I'm driving. Our boy in the front right seat. Reek in the back right, throwing up out the door. His girl behind me in the left. He in the middle. He talking to Reek. He noticed why he in my car. It's cuz of Reek. Like, I don't know that nigga. Know the girl.
Yeah, literally, I invited him to this party at the very last minute.
So the only reason why he in my car is because of Reek. And he said, and Tariq go, hey yo, I gotta throw up. I said, you good, bro? I pulled over. Dude to the right, you good? You know, dude to the right, dreadhead 6'6". He said, you good,
bro. Bro don't give a fuck about being on this podcast. We won't mention people that we're not cool with, but just like with bro Vontae, like you gotta mention them.
So me and Ro sit up in the front seat like, yo, it really ain't no trip to us. He in the back seat, man. Hey, come on, Reek, we hungry.
But it was because he was trying to get back to the Dutch Inn with his girl.
First of all, we hungry.
No, but he was trying to get back to the Dutch Inn with his girl who had already like had this whole fucking episode. Who like, okay, why are you trying to get back with her when like clearly she's not in her right mind? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was just like what I was thinking about while I was throwing up. But
yeah, that job. I'm like, this dude. So I think he was throwing for like 30 minutes.
Christiana, you keep talking.
He was like throwing for like 30 straight, like just doing it, and then he complaining the whole time. Then we get back to the junk, and now he's finally like, oh, we're at Sheets, and now he's in a good mood. I'm like, bro, come on, what?
Right.
So then I don't deal with people like that, selfishness, traits, and everything. Then he ain't giving my gas money when I drive him out of the
Then it
Dutch.
makes you even more upset.
Yup.
Special guest. What you got to say? Oh, you quiet now, huh? Alright. So, this is like probably the only episode that I haven't had with y'all in a while. Have we ever had a mental health episode?
Not like solely.
Not like
she
solely.
came, that's all we hit is mental health.
Is it though?
It's like,
Because, I mean, here's my thing.
Yeah.
We always get one topic, and then it does get to the
Well, that was the
mental
reason why I also started the question of the day. Or not the question of the day, but the mental moment.
Yeah.
Because I always had the question of the day. But, I don't know, Jordan, you do be on a lot of mental stuff. A lot.
I do.
Which, I mean, I don't knock you for that, you know? But, I don't know. Like, what's going on with both of y'all? You was talking about the job. What's going on with the job? You wanted to wait John to the podcast.
So I get to the job on Monday. Granted, I haven't had any training during orientation. I didn't have any training. I basically was like, this is the building. Here's the passcodes to get into each floor. And there it is. So as an OT, I have to do a lot of documentation. The person, the rehab manager, which he's new, he doesn't know anything about my field. He didn't even tell me about the documentation. So this is my first job. I'm brand new, like I'm a brand new grad, so I don't know everything. So they basically just throw me into it and was like, here you go.
This past week or the week before?
Yeah, this past week.
Okay.
So they just basically threw me in it, like, so I gotta learn a new system by myself. I'm the only OT there, so I don't have anybody mentoring me to like get me up to speed on like.
Make it your own.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't know a lot of stuff about OT. Like I'm brand new, I know a lot, but I also don't
is it hard or is it just something that you're not used to?
I mean,
and here's the reason why I ask that is because like, I mean, I could say being the assistant manager is hard. I'm used to 90% of what goes on in that gym, aside from assistant manager shit.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. It's difficult, you know, the 10% that I do have to focus on.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's just something I got to get over. It's
yeah,
not really,
exactly.
It's
so
not really hard.
that's the mindset I had to get into by the end of the week. But then by the end of the week, we have to meet 85% productivity. So the productivity that I wasn't hitting that 85% productivity. So I'm like,
see, and that's another thing. Like with me being the assistant at the gym that I work at, I account for 70% of the tours that are made in that gym. If it's not in my name, okay, well now you know why isn't this tour in your name?
Yeah.
You know.
So is nobody else allowed to give tours?
They are, but it counts more to me.
Okay.
It counts more on me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, general manager has to make up. Please. General manager has to make up for a certain percentage. The assistant has to make up, I know, just off the top of my head, 70% of the percentage. So, you know, a lot of it kind of falls on me. And I have to make the schedule, and I have to do all these reports and all this other shit.
You gotta make the work schedule? You gotta make the work schedule?
Yeah.
Oh, big dog.
Yeah. But here's the thing, it's just like, me personally, I think so much about, just like how you talk about it being hard, why look at it as being hard when you worked for this?
Yeah.
Just think about a year ago.
Yeah,
not even a year ago,
that.
just 2 months ago.
That he promised me. That's another thing. Like, when I got into the position before I accepted it, because it's a hard building, it's probably the most nastiest nursing home I've ever been in my life. They don't even have wipes for the patient. They don't have nothing. So I'm just like,
niggas gotta use that damn 1-ply toilet paper, boy.
It's literally so difficult. So I'm like, and now he wants me to bring my computer in while I'm giving somebody, like, or like they're bathing themselves, but I have to be there because if they lose their balance, that's my license. If they do this, that's my license.
Shit.
So he doesn't even know what I do, but he wants me to do. He's trying to tell me how to do my job, and so
niggas done fell wiping their nuts.
Right, seriously, and he like, oh well, whatever, basically, because that's not his job. Like he don't have to worry about that. So like that's not his license. So it's just been difficult. Not that the work is difficult, it's just that I have to learn a new system. I'm new at the whole OT, being an OT. It's not like I've been an OT for 4 or 5 years.
But this is what you've been training for.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't just, nobody has ever thrown somebody into a system and not trained them on it.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about in,
you're talking about your field.
This, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, with your field, I feel like you have to train.
Like, it's more, I'm dealing with people that,
Because not everybody is, I got my, you know.
But it's the actual like documentation of like the system. So basically I have to navigate 2 systems throughout the whole day. But I don't know where nothing is in the building. I don't know where anything is on the computer, how to access it. I know how to do my job, but you're making it 10 times harder for me because you haven't even shown me where to access what I need to do my job.
Yeah.
Sure, they didn't get an orientation.
So it was like an orientation of the building, but not the orientation of what I need to do my job, because the CNA was also with me. So basically she needed to know the building part, but I really didn't need to know that. I just need to know the gym and like, this is what, what I need to do.
Are you looking for another job?
No, I'm not. I think that I'm gonna be.
You're still
able
getting
to,
paid good, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you making good money, but you know, sometimes it's mind over matter.
It is easy.
Yeah.
Or
So
easy. It is.
and the coders are looking at me like, cause I'm their supervisor, and they've been doing this for 7 years, 20 years, and they looking at me
But
like.
here's what I'm saying. It's easy to get discouraged
Yeah.
about what it is that you're doing
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
have so little training, I guess, and then not even
So the
that.
first
But,
2 days, I was tired. I was stressed out. And
but
then
I'm
yeah.
not even on just you being tired. When you have somebody else who didn't work up from this position, you know what I'm saying? They're just put here and forced to
Yeah.
tell you, hey, this is how you do this is how you do that, throw you to the wolves.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing in the building.
No.
You don't know where it is that you gotta go to.
I don't even know where to get my supplies.
Exactly. What type of bullshit is that?
Yeah,
Think
it's
about
hard.
that.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not like you didn't train me on my job, but you just didn't train me on the systems to do my job. Like you didn't train me on the information that I need to do my job. So now you're talking about productivity at the end of the week, and it's like, go on with that. Even all the other therapists was like, he don't even know what we do. He was supposed to. So check this, Friday. He said, I'm gonna be there to help. I'm gonna teach you some more things on Friday, right? So I called him at 8. I'm like, are you here? Because I can make my own schedule. I can come in whenever I want to. I said, are you here?
But
He's like,
is he supposed to be there at 8?
he gets there at 8. That's what he told me. He was like, get there at 7:30 or later. I get there at 8. And usually he's there at 8, so I got there at 8. I was like, are you here? He was like, no, I'm not there yet. I was like, okay, I'm gonna run and get my coffee right quick. He was like, yeah, go ahead and do that. 8:30 hits. I'm already in the building doing my job. He texts me and is like, or he texts the whole therapy department and saying that he's not coming in today. We had a big person there for PPE. So you telling me at 8 o'clock you didn't know you was not gonna come? You telling me you're on your way and you're not there? So it's a big person that comes in from the building check because of COVID. So they're checking for like if you're wearing your gloves, if you're wearing this. And then he's like, he's just sending this, do this. But then he's like texting me, text me when you're finished with this person. Text me when you're finished doing this treatment. So he calls me during the treatments while I'm doing the treatments with the patients. And I'm like, I can't answer. Like, I'm doing the treatments. So then he's like, can you call me back, please? 7 minutes later, I'm doing other stuff on my job. You're worried about productivity, yet you're spending 30 minutes to talk to me. So I'm just like, this is like, no. So 7 minutes pass after he sent that text. He calls the building phone to talk to me. I'm like, you are not gonna micromanage me from your house.
I could only say that he did that probably just because can you be on your phone?
Yeah, but he knows that I'm not on my phone. Like, he's been there all week. So he knows that I'm really trying to learn the job. But you're telling me to be there at a certain time so you can teach me more things.
But see, that's what's shitty about jobs. It's like when you got somebody who really don't give a fuck about teaching you.
Right.
This is exactly why, and I never talked about this, but when it came to the radio station, right?
Hey,
Christiana.
Hey, all I know is that Roadrunner giving the Rock the hands over.
Thanks. I'm over here looking like, hey, you got the wrong person winning. Because
Roadrunner giving Rock
you say, you know what I was born off of? No, but okay, even when I was at the radio station, right? Minimum effort when it came to training me. I'm fresh out of college. I'm thinking like, I've been through radio all 4 years. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Somebody's gonna be like, you know what? I can't wait to hire this motherfucker.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Cause you got somebody that's willing to work. That's
When I got hired on, when I tell you, they had all my shit, my LinkedIn account, recent shit that I had shared on Facebook, my Twitter account, just different stuff. And I'm thinking like, oh, they about to put me in a real ass position. You know what I'm saying? They looking up all this shit. Had to go through the drug test. You know what I'm saying? Past that. But anyways, it was so minimal. The training was so minimal to the point where it was just like, I'm just showing up. Have you not gotten to that point yet? Obviously, it's your first week, you know, so you're still overzealous about it. But at the end of the day, it was like after maybe a month had went by.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of understand where they putting me at. I ain't trying to say, do you work for a company where, and I'm not trying to make this into a whole, like, you know, racial thing.
Yeah.
Where a lot of white people.
No, surprisingly, but the manager, he's very, He's a speech therapist for one, meaning that he doesn't know our job. He doesn't know what OT does. He doesn't know what PT does. OT and PT kind of know what each other does because we kind of overlap. Speech just works on the mouth. We work on everything else. So while he's doing feeding tasks, he can type on his computer. But while I'm doing a bathing task, I can't. You can't, yeah. Because if that person falls, that's my license.
Well, here's the thing.
So
you
he
gotta
doesn't
think
get
about,
it. But he is white. He is white.
Well, you also have to think about, and this isn't, talking about white people, but the company. Yeah. Why would they hire this person who doesn't have any insight on the actual job at hand?
So he's
the task at hand.
He's the rehab manager, but he's not. He's a new rehab manager, and nobody really training him on his job. So he's doing rehab manager job as well as a speech therapist. So he's playing two roles.
So it sounds
he's getting money. Like he's getting over $100,000 a year.
It sounds like to me all of you were thrown to the fire then.
Right, but you can't teach. But how can you hire me telling me you're going to give me this, this, and this, and this?
That's because he did it to other people who now have to train you up.
But those people, the coaches have been there, and they said he doesn't know what he's doing in the job. He doesn't know what we do. He literally opened up the cabinet. He was like, "Yeah, I think that's y'all stuff. I really don't know what y'all do." I'm like, "You're telling me this as my boss that you don't know what we do, but you expect me to do this, that, and the third? It's hard."
This is what happens when.
And I'm the only OT, so that means I have to do the evaluations, meaning when they come in or they're
What happened to OT before you? Do you know?
She was the rehab manager, and I guess she left.
You remember on Friday After Next, and you remember what happened to the last security guard before you?
So they were like, "Jordan, this is a hard building. If you can work this job, you can work any job." So that's what the coders are telling me. And granted, like my assistants, they're very supportive of me, and they understand like where I'm at in my career. I'm new. I really ain't nowhere in my career at this point. So they're very supportive, and also are all the other therapists. But it was just frustrating to be the first 2 days. Like the second day, I literally like shed a tear and was like, I don't know if I can do this. Then the next, I reached out. My aunt works there too, and she
works with you.
She's a nurse though, but she works. She got me in contact with another occupational therapist this season that works for insurance now, so they can tell me kind of what to put to get that person either, more time in therapy.
Both y'all working together?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, that aunt. I forgot you know that aunt.
That's dope.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just what's going on in my world. It's just a lot of stress. By Friday I felt okay, but then he started pushing productivity on me. And it's hard to meet productivity standards because it's like we're not a factory. We're like really taking care of patients.
I feel like
it's not like
I'm painting wood.
No, but here's the thing though, in your work ethic, and I feel like in mine too, John, you got a little bit more like grind in your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna grind it out wherever the fuck you at. As minimal question. Like here's the thing, I envy your work ethic because you work your way up. Like the position that you have right now, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because when I tell you like a couple years ago, I mean niggas didn't see you working in vinyl. You feel me? So it's just like it's not. You wouldn't say if you knew somebody that worked at McDonald's who now they the manager, like general manager of the store, who you worked with them in 2016. You know what I'm saying? And they was flipping a burger. You got that image in your head of them flipping a burger, and now they here. That's where motherfucking growth happens, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I congratulate you, you know what I'm saying? I don't congratulate you a lot on this podcast because you be full of shit sometimes.
Damn.
I ain't gonna give you the full benefit of the doubt. Don't think this is a little sappy ass moment. You know what I'm saying?
But seriously, and I think it's important for people to know other backgrounds before they just jump, or even have like a BS job like freaking Marshalls, McDonald's, like those are some like.
This is what I was saying, like when I was talking about me and you having like somewhat of the same work ethic. When you get thrown to the wolves, you got to put it out there. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing,
right? Because
at some point you're gonna get to that point of like, all right, I'm here, I'm working, but this is all so new to me to the point where it's just like. It's gonna get overwhelming. Yeah. You know that it is. You just gotta wait for that point.
Is the task hard, or is it like a work ethic mindset?
It's a work ethic mindset. It's not even the task.
I just think the task is difficult for me because it's like I don't know where to even look to get some of the stuff that they're asking me to fill out on the documentation. So it's like if I don't know where to look at for that, and you already want me to meet a certain productivity, and I don't even know where stuff is.
Job.
And I don't even even know where stuff is yet. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't know the system. This is a new company, new building. I don't even know how y'all do things. My codes don't even work 5 days a week. I didn't know that. In my other job, they work 5 days a week. They did the progress notes. That's it. I have to do the evaluations, the treatments, the progress notes, and the discharge. All the paperwork. And I have to treat patients sometimes. So it's overwhelming. I don't even know what my position is at this point because I did a different, at another facility, it was totally different.
Yeah. What I meant by like when I asked, because like he said, when I get put in my positions of work and I just work through them, you know, I work, you know, I paint wood now.
Okay.
Where I work at, literally no one knows how to run my machine. It was one dude before me. He trained me. He left. So after that, it's only me. So if the machine break down, I gotta know how to fix it because maintenance don't. So it's like, that's what I mean by like, is the task hard or is it more of a mental thing? Like I get, you probably got thrown to the wolves.
It's both for real.
Definitely got thrown to the wolves with how he sound.
Well, the way that you worded it was more work ethic, not necessarily mental. You know, like the opposition of, was it? It's not that the task is hard. Mentally, that shit's a lie, bro. And I understand on your first week of the job, let me tell you something, and I'll tell you the story after, like I say this. It's not appealing. I don't care if you just got the job. A lot of companies talk about just hiring people on nowadays. Have people who are really prepared to train people. I don't care if it's some McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Have somebody on fries who, hey, I've been doing fries for however long. I'm gonna respect you so much more because you've been doing this shit than the person coming out the back office.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
And that's where I'm at. I wish I had a mentor that was doing what I was doing to be like, look, because it's still some like treatment stuff that I don't even know what to do. They don't even have the necessary, like the equipment that I have seen before. They don't have the same even style of doing things. So I didn't even know that. I'm coming in like, oh, y'all just like this facility. And there's a whole different company.
Yeah. So
now I'm over here like, okay, y'all do this, y'all do this. My coders ain't even there 5 days a week. They don't do progress notes. So that means I have to do all the documentations and some treats depending on the day. And it's hard, and not because I don't know. And
see, here's the thing. It's like me being the assistant at Planet Fitness, right? If they hire on a new, just regular sales associate, same shit that I was doing just last week, you know what I'm saying? How would I not be a perfect fit to train them?
Right.
When I was doing this shit in 2019, and this past time was doing it for the past 4 or 5 months.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So why couldn't the rehab manager prior to him, because she still comes there and does my job sometimes,
at least help you out?
Because you know she has, okay, so OTs have PRN. That means I can go into another facility for 2 hours a day and do that person's that does it 8 hours a day job. I can help them out. So she's there for the 2 hours in the evenings, but I'm not there because I'm gone. So it's like, why can't she help train me if she's still there?
But take the time out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She's still there. She's not there 40 hours a week, but she's there 10 hours a week.
This is why.
Why did you change your schedule around though?
I didn't know. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going in like not knowing nobody's schedule, not knowing anybody's nothing.
I was about to say, because she's coming in, I was like, I get it, she's coming in for 2 hours.
But I have to still come in and do my full-time job, so I can't just stay there until 7:30.
Oh, when you mean by evening, you mean like night, basically.
Yeah, she doing 5:30 to 7:30.
Oh, okay, so you...
I didn't even know.
9 to 5. Yeah, 9 to 5, you still going. Even,
right.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, it's difficult. I'm not going to quit, because I feel like I'm there for a reason, but within the 90 days, if I don't feel a little bit more confident in my job, then I might look for it.
Well, let me ask you this: do you actually clock in every day?
No. So he hasn't even set me up where I can clock in every day.
Okay, do you want me to tell the story, or do you have like a little bit more to say?
Oh no, that's all I was gonna say. Like,
so okay,
I can't even clock in. He hasn't even set my finger.
So I had this job fresh out of college. You know what I'm saying? I was going door to door selling Sprint. Mm-hmm. Straight commission based job.
Yeah.
Not thinking anything about like, I actually have to make money off of this thing. I'm just thinking commission based. A lot of people who make commission talk about how it's a lot of money, but it's because they make a lot of money.
Right.
There's not a lot of money within the job. There's a lot of money that you can make.
Right.
Which they don't tell you about that. And they program you to tell you about that. Which is why I asked, how do you clock in?
Yeah.
Because if they actually have it on, like documented, hey, she clocked in today, might be able to get away with a little bit more, you know, on your end. But here's the thing, just I worked at this job 2 weeks straight. The last day that I worked there, we were supposed to take, you know, like all those. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It was a little one of them little get rich quick schemes, like a pyramid scheme. Yeah. That was what it is.
I know. I feel like I know what you're talking about. I saw with an A.
It wasn't with A. But here's the thing: we were selling Sprint.
Oh.
So we would go into all these little ghetto ass neighborhoods, just like trying to sell Sprint. People would cuss us out. I had, you know, people literally like not make me full-fledged cry, but you know, shed a tear, just like, oh shit, like their words was really harsh, you know. And it's just for a nigga who trying to sell you Sprint.
Right.
You know, they'll see you at the front door and just be like, yo, get the fuck out of here, like we don't want to fucking talk, just shit like that, you know. So okay, maybe a week into it, I'm thinking to myself, what's the point, you know? Halfway into the second week, everybody that I asked, well, what was your first check looking like? You know how niggas ask, you know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking nothing about just like, oh, it's all commission based, you know? So like, some people's checks look good, some people, you know, because I would talk to some people and it would just be like, oh yeah, man, like you gonna make this much on your first check.
Yeah, it's like,
no, you really don't. You make whatever you make,
right?
You know? And if you continue, then, but here's the thing, how does your job go about like letting people go, and how is the turnover rate?
So the turnover rate is super high, just not for OTs, but just for the nursing staffs and all that, which is still the building. That's who we work with.
Watch that shit too. Right.
So I didn't know that. So I'm like, yo, I'm jumping at that money because it sounds good. But
it sounds good.
Right. So I'm like,
how is it promised though?
Right. Exactly. So I don't know as far as I don't think they're gonna fire me no time soon. I'm gonna just stick it out. If they do, they do. But I don't think they will.
Like Shorty said, she said if you can make it here,
right, I can make it anywhere.
So it's like you still got good money coming in.
Right.
It ain't gonna hurt you to learn that from learn a worse system to get to a better one.
Right. So that's why I said if I end up getting laid off, then it ain't nothing for me to find another job.
Right.
It's OT. It's everywhere. But yeah, that's just my week.
Spent 30 minutes just talking about that.
It sucks.
And I can't wait to cut that one little clip out. But alright, so how are y'all mentally? I said I wanted to have a mental health episode. Even if I cut the rest of it out and just add this, I just want to know.
Well, that's how I was.
Almost 30 episodes. You gotta think. 30 weeks. There's been some podcasts, guarantee you, this should probably be like almost on episode 40. You know.
I took off. Remember I had COVID.
You took off, but there's been podcasts that I've uploaded, podcasts that I haven't uploaded because we talked about certain shit and I just couldn't edit it out. How are y'all feeling mentally?
About life, podcast, what's the question?
Life in general. You've been on here. You've been on here literally, Jordan, 10 episodes now. You came on 17. Ever since then, you've been going strong. So, how you been?
I've been good. Other than that, other than being overwhelmed, I mean, I've struggled. I mean, this season of my life, I've struggled with disappointments. I've struggled with losses. I've struggled with, I don't know, being overwhelmed with life. I mean,
you know what really fucked it up? COVID.
Yeah.
And I know that this has been mentioned in so many conversations probably. But last year was, I feel like, the first time that everybody, for whatever reason, had to like take into consideration themselves. Yeah. If you weren't already.
And I think that's another thing. Even me and Jonathan, when we was hanging tight, like I was like, "You want to go get a massage? You want to go get this? You want to go get this?" I was like self-care, like.
Hold on, you old sus ass nigga. Hey. You get massages, bro. You better let that soreness. You better fucking embrace that soreness, bro.
No, we was talking about self-care and everything.
Self-care. I got some self-care, bro.
Shorty, my nigga, I laid right there and she even got my pores and everything.
Damn, nigga got the forehead too.
No, we got a facial and a massage.
You got a facial and a massage.
I wasn't gonna say that one like that. but
you talked about the face. I wasn't even gonna say that.
But you know, yeah, I did get the face.
2 hour listeners, I promise John isn't sus.
But yeah, I got a massage, the facial. Shorty gave me a massage, bro. That joint was like, I ain't gonna lie. I took what Shorty did to me to some female partner.
To some female partner.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna miss no face or case.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Hey yo.
But yeah.
Ask Shorty lucky.
But you're right though. We have to take care of ourselves. Like that's what I said. I was like on self-care. I was like, Jonathan, we gotta start doing this. We gotta, if we wanna do this, we gotta start. I was just like, look, we gotta take care of ourselves at this point because life's short.
Like when it came to the podcast, so this is the thing is just I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, but when I started doing this podcast, I had the idea in mind for months before I actually started going through with, you know, making an intro and all this other shit you gotta like do for a podcast. So when I made it, I was really like contemplating just which one of my boys do I hit up, you know, because I know that I'm gonna need somebody who will come every week, doesn't need to get drunk or high every week. You know what I'm saying? Just different shit that I had to think about. But at the end of the day, I mentally was not in the best place to where this podcast was the best thing to do. Because I couldn't DJ at the time. You know, the pandemic was going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, early on we just had fun with it.
Yeah, but and that's the thing was just like I literally did this as my answer to, okay, well, clubs and shut down. I don't have, you know, the residency at Sidewinders anymore. So I had to just go through with, you know, whatever it was creative wise that I had in mind. So when I started this podcast, like mentally, that was the best thing that I could have done. Mm-hmm. But it was because, like, say if John came over here, right? The first, I ain't even gonna bullshit with you, 5-6 weeks, John would be the only person that I'd see.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
That came over here, that, you know, just anything. And doing the podcast was my way of escaping from whatever. You know? Like the first couple episodes, I ain't even gonna bullshit with you, was just me just needing to, even if we didn't talk about specific situations, me needing to channel something else in my mind other than, you know, I'm not doing this. Yeah, COVID. Just everything was just because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, see, I was still working.
Yeah,
so I was still outside.
Factory nigga.
I was still going out there seeing people, and COVID was more like obviously it restricted people, but man, I already work in a spray booth. You know how bad it is to get off one mask to put another one on.
Oh, I believe it.
That thing, it was already sweat me here, bro. I broke out so bad.
Yeah, same.
It was rough. Well, yeah, but like when I would get from one sweat and I'd wipe it off, but it's like you in a factory, it's just bad, and it would just be breaking out. Like it was bad.
Yeah, but that was my thing. Was just like even starting this podcast mentally was so taxing to the point where it was just like me mentally. I had to make sure that I was good before the first couple of podcasts. After a while, it started, you know, clicking. But it was just like the first couple podcasts, it was just like, bro, sometimes I don't feel like John, you know, need to come over here right now. Sometimes I don't feel like talking. Right. But it would force me to talk because you got something that you got to let it out. That the podcast is
dedicated to something.
Dedicated to something. Mm-hmm. The podcast, this is something that you're doing, you know, so like, if you're not going to put raw content on there, then what the fuck are you even doing? You know, this might as well just be like a standard radio show.
Yeah, true.
You know? Put it all out there. That's the way that I feel. This is the reason why I wanted to have more of a mental episode. It's just because, like, we don't never necessarily talk about, like, what we all go through on the day to day.
So you was talking about, it was like taxing for you to get to the podcast. See, now, I don't do none of the stuff you do. I don't know how to do none of that stuff. I'm not going to act like I do. But when you told me to come onto the podcast and, you know, I came with one I didn't know what to expect. And in fact, I think you ran a trial one with 2 boys of ours.
Yeah, I did. It was awful. Fucking terrible.
So we laughed at that. But then when I came here and I know I did week 1, I did week 2. And I started getting in a routine to come in. I think at this time we was doing like 2 p.m.s. And I was getting a routine and I was coming in. I watched you set this up. You build it like, you went from literally just one of these keyboards, one of these things, to everything you got now, and you kept building up. It actually pushed me. Like I started, I was hanging out with Jordan. I was seeing you work hard. I was seeing you had a dream, you had a goal. I eventually got back into school. I'm still in school, finishing some classes up. So I saw you working hard, and then we got boys who are liabilities, who struggle. I wouldn't even say struggle, who don't even want to try.
I was about to say, there's a difference between struggle and just not giving a fuck.
So, who wouldn't even try. So when I saw you giving this effort, hey, my boys, I'm gonna love them to death. But I had to take a step away from them because their mentality wasn't the one I wanted to match. And then I saw how you was working hard to it. Jordan at the time, like you said, we was hanging out. She was taking care of herself. She was getting her master's. She was interning. She was working. You had a drive. You were doing that. And I was like, nah, that's not what I want to do. And I started emulating you guys. When you talk about my work ethic earlier, and I'm like, I'm trying to catch up to you two. Because I feel like, I'm behind on so many aspects. I'm just trying to.
But money-wise, do you overpower both of us?
Well, not now.
Not now.
Before?
But here's the thing. Before.
Shorty, they cool.
But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I chose you as my co-host, John, is because I can't. Not that I can't rely on any of my other boys. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to shit like this, you know what I'm saying? Just y'all come over here. This isn't the typical podcast setup. Like you can see the background of my bathroom and all this other shit. But all this shit was there before we even had like the actual still shot of the camera. Yeah. Like if you go back and listen to episodes, I think like 1 through maybe 7, 8, it's all just like a camera angle, but there is no like movement on the camera. Mm-hmm. On YouTube, it's just that one picture. Yeah. But you can still hear the audio. Yeah. You just can't, see everything going on.
The progress.
Exactly.
So I think this podcast has helped Jonathan from my point of view too, because I've seen that in him, like, oh yeah, I need to do more, I need to want more. So I think mentally, you said it helped you, Tyreek, to start it, but I also think it helped him too, and eventually me, because this is my getaway. Like I'm like excited about this. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to go, but I need this throughout my week.
Bro, that's the glory of this shit. Yeah. You don't think about it. Like just think about me having to set up all of this stuff. Yeah. If I would have taken all of this down and then set it up, I mean, obviously if I would have had the time to, I got back late as hell. But if I would have had the time to, then I would have, just because for 30 weeks, or 30 episodes, this has been my escape. Yeah. Even, okay, so you think about the situation, or not situation, but we didn't talk about so many different situations, it's ridiculous, So with me and my current girlfriend, right? It's stuff that we talked about on the first couple of podcasts, to where if I could go back and pinpoint just those conversations, because me and her had started talking halfway into me beginning the podcast. I didn't really give it any leadway. Mm-hmm. The podcast was just like my thing at the time. Mm-hmm. But after a while, we started having conversations that made me come to grips with myself. Yeah. Which also kind of just made me think to myself, like, well, maybe you're not so much of a shitty guy, as far as everything that you view as being huge or, whatever on a girl's standpoint. But maybe you could definitely just ease up some,
Facts. I definitely got that from talking to you. Definitely had conversations with her.
But I feel like it's when you're really voicing your opinion, and then somebody else is coming at you like, "Hey, bro, this really ain't that serious," or just whatever.
Not even that. It's just saying well, look at it this way. And I think that's what this has brought to me, as well as just me and Jonathan. I ain't really it started because Jonathan would call me out on my stuff, and I'm not used to that. So I was like, hold on, you might be right. Or I'll be like, well, I wouldn't say that right then. Jonathan can tell you that took some progress. But I was like, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, okay,
But like,
I was wrong.
and I think, that was another reason why, when I came and we would talk, I would, in the early podcast, I'd probably some horrible stories from my back day, right? And I would tell the boys that, and, laugh at it, chop it up, shit, it's cool. I told you the story, now accountability got to be played in.
Mm-hmm.
Now
because you know that I'm going to hold you accountable. For
and that's what it is. Like, you can't have yes men.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like, you gotta have somebody who's going to
Even
challenge
on
you,
this
but
podcast,
respectfully.
bro, I can't fake any of this shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's just like, obviously the same way that we are off the podcast, I am on the podcast.
Right.
You know, so it's like, if I wouldn't check you off script, why the fuck would I bring you on here? You know, when everything around this podcast is based off of giving your actual emotions. You know what I'm saying? Giving your actual feelings about whatever the fuck is going on. It's going crazy in here. But yeah, it's just like I know exactly what you're talking about. You know.
Yeah.
But what would I look like starting this podcast? Every time you say something, I'm just gonna laugh at it and shrug it off. But this isn't how I would do it. But I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna laugh at it and I'm just going about my day.
Yep.
What type of person would I be for doing that?
We know the type of people.
Right.
We know the type of people, but here's the thing: it's just like you can't listen to those people. Like, here's my biggest thing: is just if you're the type of person where,
I was just saying, you gotta have friends for different stuff. I think I'm posted about that.
Oh yeah.
This week, like, it's not that you have best friends, but it's like you have friends that open up different venues of who you are.
I've definitely always been around that.
See, I haven't. I always been like, not saying like one best friend, or I have somebody that mostly thinks like me, but will check me. You know what I'm saying?
But it is typical for you to think like, or not for you personally, but for people to think like, oh, okay, if you're my friend, I'm expecting you to check me on whatever it is, even though this person may not check you. They might just, you know what I'm saying, oh, it's whatever. But you know that on their end, they're not all the way there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You have friends for different things. Like, you have friends that open up your mental. You have friends that open up, like, your vulnerability. You got friends that open up your fun, like, wild and free. Like, you just have friends for different stuff. Like, if I wanted to go to this friend for this, I mean, you just have, you have that variety.
You don't think you could have a friend for all of those causes?
Y'all keep talking. I'll be right back.
Well, because I feel like, I done got into serious situations with both of y'all. I don't feel like we got some free, wild ones.
Yeah, and that's not, but that's why I say, like, our friendship, like, within us three is rare, because it's like,
No,
you don't find all three.
Because you know the ones we grew up with.
Yeah, we don't find all three.
Like the ones we grew up with, I didn't go for them for fun. I didn't go to them for to enjoy, time. Yeah. But I couldn't go to them for no, hey,
so
bro.
Serious.
Me and Shorty ran into trouble. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
I'm struggling at the job. Hey, bro.
I'm struggling mentally.
Yeah, like I couldn't go to them. And in fact, I'm glad you said that, because that was literally the topic on one of the first podcasts I read. You remember? Well, I eventually started coming to you and you, because the ones I was going to talking to, I had messed up with the girl. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I had messed up with her.
Oh, yeah.
And then the only thing they were saying to me, hey, bro, that's life. It goes on.
No, that's not.
And that's the only thing they were saying to me. And I was like, bro. I was like,
that's how we got close.
I was like, that's not what I want to hear. And then I ended up texting like both of y'all like the same time, trying to find out, I was like, bro, because that's not sitting well with me. I'm like, bro, oh my, 21, 22 at this time, like, that don't sound right to me. Ain't no reason for me to be like, that's life, and I'm supposed to know this simple stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, this is why you gotta watch the advice that you get from people. This is why you gotta watch all the shit that you get from people.
Or just who you around, too.
Who you around?
I do
Think about this. This is my thing.
Takes a lot.
This is the reason. This is another reason why, and I don't mean to keep trying to boost your head, John. You know what I'm saying? But when I started this podcast, right, I don't need yes men in my life. Biggest thing that I've ever had to overcome.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I'm not that I need a yes man in my life, but you want to know, yeah, it's easier.
It's
easier when you can go around our boys. You know what I'm saying? Who yes men, if you got the right product for them. You got to think. Stop hanging around people who are materialistic yes men.
It's not even that. It's that. Not even. I wouldn't even say they're materialistic in a sense. It's just that
they don't care.
No, it's like if it's not benefiting them, then they don't care. It's not even about materialistic. If you ain't having fun with me, if you ain't providing the weed, you're not providing gas to get me where I need to go, then really, I mean, we not cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else do y'all have in common? If I'm not benefiting you, and that's another thing that has hurt me that I had to realize about people in my life, that you have to kind of let them go when it's more of a take than a give and take on both sides.
Yeah.
Even mentally though, sometimes you gotta, like, somebody can't be in your ear all the time telling you all this sad stuff, and then you're just like giving them advice all the time, but then when you come to them, it's like, oh, I don't want to. Oh yeah, well, it'll be all right.
Here's the thing: it's just like with said boys in specific, you know, they would stop telling me about stuff, but that's because I would give them the raw. Like if you tell me, oh, you just cheated on a girl, why? Would you? For what? You know, like, what'd you get out of that? They don't like that shit.
No.
They don't like that shit, but it's because of the fact that they are not
been around each other and
they're not used to people checking them on their shit to the point where it's just like, okay, after a while, you know, you're not necessarily telling me this thinking that, oh, I'm gonna check you on it. You're thinking like, oh, everybody understands your point on it.
Yeah.
This is why I hate the whole point of a yes man. Like, it's such bullshit, I swear to God, because it's just like, yo, you don't understand what?
Language, sir.
I'm sorry, you're getting worked up. But here's my thing, is just when someone is a yes man, you have no identity. You have no, that's the blatant way of looking at it. You have no identity. You're literally nothing more than what this person comes to you about. But you gotta understand, say, John, if you had a whole problem with me smoking weed, you know, but every time you came over, you know, you was just like, oh, whatever, you know, it's whatever. He do this shit all the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say nothing about it. But say if we get in public, right? We get around some people that you know.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, well, John, my boy, you know what I'm saying? I can smoke weed in front of him. Oh, now you acting, you know, real weird.
Yeah, because it never was addressed. Yeah.
It was never addressed. And you made me feel so not good about it, but like it was nothing. Almost to the point where it's just like, okay, now I can go around wherever and just think like, oh, he cool with the shit.
This is happening, right?
No. This hasn't happened.
Oh,
but I'm just saying, like, as far as yes men go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean,
when you're a yes man, you got to answer to so much shit that you don't think about. Like, you just think you're a yes man, but you got to answer to so many different.
But I think that's the difference between our friend group, not excluding those two, that we're not yes men to each other. And I think that's why a lot of us have branched out individually. Not saying, I mean, of course, life, but like, I'm saying individually, like we've always been who we are. I don't think between me, you, Ty, John, we ain't really changed much. Like, we are who we are, and that's because we've always had a voice, and we always can be like, well, look, I don't really agree with what you say. Me